Hi, this is Mark Bowser. Welcome to Customer Service Success. Today we want to talk about fabled service, how Nordstrom wins the war for customers. Joy was in the air. It was Christmas time, that special time of the year when we sing, fellowship, and of course shop. Now Carolyn Crawford, who was a reverend, was no different. She walked into a Nordstrom department store and was immediately bombarded with the sights and sounds of Christmas. The store was beautifully decorated with all the Christmas trimmings. Now about this time, as she was doing her shopping, a homeless bag lady walked into the store. Her appearance was haggard, and dirty, and sloppy. And let me tell you, her aroma definitely contrasted the smells of the store. Now, Reverend Crawford's heart went out to this desolate woman because she knew the bag lady was going to be thrown out of the store. And what an attack this would be on this poor lady's already poor self-image. So Reverend Crawford decided to help the lady out. She was going to follow her around the store, and when security began to throw her out, she would maybe be there to soften the blow a little bit. Now, the bag lady walked right up to her clerk and asked to try on some evening dresses. Gown after gown was brought out so she could try them on. The clerk complimented her on which gowns flattered her figure. Every warmth and kindness was given to this bag lady as if she were a real customer. She couldn't afford any of those dresses. Was the clerk out of touch with reality? Now, after the bag lady left the store, Carolyn walked up to the clerk, just had to know, and she said, "I just saw what you did. Why did you treat that lady as if she were a real customer? She couldn't afford any of those dresses." The clerk looked at the Reverend and said, "Well, it's because it's my job." "What do you mean it's your job?" She said, "My job is to serve and to be kind." Now, this story is found in a wonderful book by Betsy Sanders titled Fabled Service. Now, this book is about serving the customer. Now, what does it take to make a customer happy? Well, Betsy Sanders knows. As a former vice president with Nordstrom, she knows it is to serve and to be kind. But what does that really mean? Now, in order to discover this, I want you to do something for me. Bend down and take off your shoes. Go ahead. Take them off. Now look at your feet. What do you see? Suppose you had to take those feet of yours and put them in the customer's shoes. Now what do you see? What do you want as the customer? What would make you happy? Betsy Sanders says, if the customer does not care about it, it is not service. Everything we do has to run through that filter. What are we doing that our customer doesn't care about? What are we doing that they don't like? My family owns a company called the Bright Corporation in Indiana. Now, if we were to call them during normal business hours, a live person would greet us. You see, my father and uncle are adamant about this, and they should be. The business was built on personal contact with the customer. You see, one of my pet peeves is the automated phone systems. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not against technology, but I'm against a system that sends you to menu after menu after menu to where you can't get to a live person. I use the technology myself, but the technology has to be used to better serve the customers. So, the two questions I leave you with today are this. What do your customers really want? And what can you do to serve and to be kind? My friend, live those answers to these two questions, and your organization will be well on its way to reaching that ever-stretching plateau of fabled service. This is Mark Bowser. Thanks for listening today. God bless.